Hello there, Irina of BCMA Studio here, and today I'm inviting you to paint with me this cute midnight wolf in Procreate. I'll be using my own brushes called Spirited. The link you can find in the description down below. The color palette and the stamp of the wolf you can download from my website. The link is also down below. I'm gonna start with making a selection with the ellipse shape, and I'm gonna increase the feather amount to approximately 25%. By the brush called the Wind Chime Background and this dark green color, I'm gonna fill this feathered ellipse with several layers, and on a new layer with a brush called KLN, I'm going to select the dark blue color, increase the opacity to 100% and increase the size of the brush. I'm going to fill this layer with dark blue color, and I'm going to change the blending mode to color burn, and I'm going to reduce the opacity a little bit. Now I'm just going to pinch these two layers together. On a new layer, I'm going to create it as a clipping mask. I'm going to grab the brush called Garnet, and with the lightest green color from the free palette, increasing the opacity to 100% with very gentle strokes, I'm going to paint the grass. Now with a brush called Yana, I'm going to take a colder shade of green and put some on the very same layer on top of the first layer of the grass. And now I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to clip it as a mask, and I'm going to change the blending mode to multiply, and with a brush called Grass Blades with this darkest green color, I'm going to add some details of the grass blades on top of the grass layer, and I've already pinched it together. On a new layer, I'm going to select the stamp Lonely Tree, and the darkest brown color, I'm going to stamp the tree in the middle of the canvas, almost in the middle, and I'm going to scale it up, make the tree bigger, and on the new layer, clip it as a mask, changing the blending mode to multiply. I'm going to start adding some darker areas to add some texture with the brush called Mystery Stone. With the same brown color, I'm just going to add darker areas here and there in no particular pattern, just to give the tree a little bit of volume and interest. Now I'm going to change the brush to Hematite. It's a textured brush, and with a brown color I'm going to add some grainy texture to my tree trunk. Again, here and there, no particular pattern. And on the new clipping mask layer, I'm going to select a lighter shade of brown, and with the same brush Hematite, I'm going to add a little bit of highlights. And I'm going to pinch it all together. Now I'm going to take the eraser tool, the Mountain Wind brush, and I'm going to go around the edge of the tree. Not everywhere, but in most of the tree. And I'm just going to erase the sharp edges, making the tree blend to the background a little bit more. And I'm going to erase the bottom of the tree trunk, make a tree sink in the grass. And now I'm going to clip the tree as a mask to my background, and I'm going to push it to the right side. Now on the new layer, I'm going to take the Nature's Pastel brush, and I'm going to draw some loose leaves around the tree using the colder shade of green. And now I'm going to change the brush to Golden Fire and selecting the light shade of brown, reducing the opacity and size. I'm going to create leaves around, creating the effect of the leaves flying around the tree. And now I'm going to take the Raven brush and I'm going to increase the size, reduce the opacity, and I'm just going to add smaller size of leaves around the tree in white color. And I'm going to pinch it with the tree. And I'm going to pinch the tree and the grass together. Now it's time to stamp the wolf. You can sketch the wolf if you want, but I've prepared the stamp for you if you can't be bothered to sketch. So I've just stamped it in white color, positioned it where I needed to, and I'm going to reduce the opacity just so I have the guidelines of where to color in. And with a brush called She-Wolf, with a white color on a new layer, not on the same layer as the wolf brush stamp, I'm just going to paint around, coloring in the wolf silhouette, making sure that I leave a nice fluffy edge. I'm going to increase the size of the brush. I'm going to make sure that I fill the shape in properly. I'm going to reduce the size of the brush to properly make the ear tips. And I'm going to delete the stamp layer and I'm going to duplicate the wolf layer, making it a little bit more solid. And I'm going to make the ear tips a little bit more pointy. I'm just going to go around the edges, making sure that I'm happy with the shape. Now I'm going to create a new layer, clip it as a mask, change the blending mode to multiply. And with a brush called Hematite, I'm going to add a little bit of shading using the purple color. Not too prominent. Very light and delicate every here and there. And now with a darker blue color. And now using Sketch and Detail brush with the same color, I'm going to add the facial features. I'm going to draw the eyes. And I'm going to draw the nose and the mouth. And now with a brush called Soft Gritty, I'm going to add the blushy cheek with a pink color with a circular motion. Now on a new layer, I'm going to grab the Sketch and Detail brush and with the white color, I'm going to add some whiskers. And now with the Hair Streaks brush, I'm going to go around the edge of my wolf, making some flyaway hair more prominent to make the wolf extra fluffy. And now I'm going to pinch the wolf together. And on a new layer, I'm going to clip the wolf as a mask to my background. And I'm going to clip the new layer as a mask too. And I'm going to select the stamp brush called Foliage. And I'm going to choose the white color. And I'm going to stamp it and flip it horizontally. Reduce the size of it. And I'm just going to place it somewhere to the right. And I'm going to reduce the opacity so it doesn't compete with my wolf. Now on the new layer, I'm going to stamp one more. And you can stamp as many as you want, playing around with their opacity, color and size, arranging them nicely around the wolf. And now I've pinched them together to make them flatten. Now on a new layer, this step is completely optional. You can add some ghost trees on the background, as I call them. So with a brush called Tundra, I'm going to reduce the opacity and I'm just going to draw some shapes resembling tree trunks and branches just to create the depth of the forest. Next step is optional as well. I'm going to add some stars in the night sky. So I'm going to select the star brush and I'm just going to draw stars here and there. Add them of different sizes to create more movement in your illustration. And finally, thread florals brush. It's a frame brush, so I'm going to create a nice frame around the background and I'm just going to adjust the size and shape of it. And now my wolf is ready. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye. See you next time.